Hello, how's everyone doing? Capital P here with another video. Today we're going to do a video I've been wanting to do for a while, basically ever since I started YouTube, and that was just a little collection video. Some, like I said, I collected as a kid, maybe from I remember 6, 7 years old, started collecting sports cards, all sports, baseball, basketball, football, or not all, but the three major. And we had the Sonics, we had the Mariners, and we had the Seahawks. The crazy thing about it, as a kid, my biggest sport was the Sonics. Sonics got the most play on TV out here growing up in the 90s. They were good, we're dominating the West. Faced the Bulls in the finals. We got knocked out by Denver. I remember that, 93, 94. In the first round, the first seed to lose to an 8 seed. I still remember Mutombo on the court floor holding that ball. I think we're up 2-0 in the series. I think that's back when their series were only 5 games, something like that. Yeah, if I remember correctly, without doing any fact checking. And yeah, we were up. Denver just came back, beat us. And those are my memories as a kid, though. But Sonics were there. We had the Mariners. 95, one of the greatest seasons ever. Refused to lose and all that. I remember that. They had the refuse to lose signs in the newspapers, the Seattle Times or the Post-Intelligencer or whatever it was. And the fans would wave them at the games. At the games, we're like 13 games back in August. Came back, tied up with the California Angels at the time. Beat them. Went on to face the Yankees. Beat them. And I believe we lost to Cleveland, was it? I don't remember it completely. I forget who we lost to, but y'all know. And then it was hard growing up as a Seahawks fan. Seahawks, yeah, we sucked in the 90s, but I still represented. And moving to Vegas in the mid-90s, being a Seahawks fan was hard, getting made fun of. 49ers was hot at the time. Vegas didn't have a team, so all the kids, they liked 49ers and Cowboys, Raiders would make fun of me. So when my time came in 2013, 12, 13, when we started being good, actually, when we won our championship, I could rub it in people's faces that, yeah, I've been a fan since the beginning, since I was born, since the 90s, 80s. But yeah, so that's it. So I just want to get into some cards with y'all. I got baseball and football in here, which I'm going to show you guys maybe in the next video. This video, we're basically going to show basketball. So I got a big collector's album here. This is everything I collected, I'd say up to 97, 98. Basketball-wise, well, not everything, but the main, what I thought was good, is I collected as a player, or I collected as a kid. And then this is something to show you. I had a bunch of these. I have like 9, 10 over there that I had as a kid, full of baseball, basketball, football. This is here full of basketball. So this is just to show you the kind of cards I collected then, or that we had. This is just what I have, like 9 of these filled with just stuff like this. They're all out of order and stuff. But yeah, this is what I had. This is a quick little show of like I said, what I had. What I collected. Buying packs. Just at corner stores, Safeway, whatever, wherever you could. Checklist. A lot of Upper Deck you see. Upper Deck dominated. Cool Wesley Person there. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Junk is just so messed up. Hershey Hawkins, great 3-point shooter. Lindsey Hunter was a great 3-point shooter. Bobby Hiller, I believe, out of Duke. Great college point guard. Yeah. Duke. But stuff like that I collected. So I'm going to just set this down for now. I'll just showing you what I have. I'd have to go through them and look to see if I have anything, in there that may be great. But anyways, so let's get on with basketball. Baseball and football will be next video of my collection, but this is going to be part 1. And actually, I might have to back this up so you guys can see everything. Let's see. All right, there we go. So, yeah, as a kid, this is what I collected. All right. So I did basketball as players. Like all my favorite players growing up. How could I get a good angle? Let me try one more time. Back up a little bit more. All right, there we go. All right, so you can see the cards. Gary Payton. I was a Sonics fan, so Gary Payton was number 1. These are just inserts and cool cards of players we had. Might be easier if I go like this. Let me see. There we go. All right. So there we go. I'm going like this. So yeah, the Gary Payton page. And then the Vin Baker page, it was Sean Kemp, but when Sean Kemp got traded, I switched it up. So my little Vin Baker cards, I accumulated. And then the Sean Kemps. All right, there we go. Stick with me, guys. This is just an improvised video I wanted to do at home, bored. Did the Seattle Underground tour earlier, so just home, got my son just home chilling. He's playing the video games, so I just thought, I wanted to just do a little video real quick. So some more Sean Kemps. We'll go like this, and then on to the Michael Jordans, the GOAT. Got some cool cards of him. It's just the stuff I could. It's basically all Upper Deck. I collected of him as a kid. There he is playing some golf. Some cool little Larry Bird animation cards. Fun Motion. Or that Fan Nation, whatever it's called. Some Scottie Pippen. So Batman and Robin. So here goes Robin right here. Some cool cards of him. And for you card experts, let me know if you see anything cool I have or that might be worth something. Let me know. Some Shaq Daddy, Shaq Diesels. Got him with the Lakers, Magics. Shaq was a beast growing up. Watching him, it was like amazing. Like this dude was just crazy. Seeing him come in the league. His little college card up there. Top Stadium Club. And then some Penny Hardaways. Metalize. I think all Orlando. I don't know if I have anything of him after he left Orlando. Cause like I said, I stopped collecting mid 90s. Or no, late 90s, let's say. And I didn't get back into it until last year. Grant Hills. So, for you young folk, if you don't know, these were the top players in the 90s as far as for me. Of course, I may be missing some players. This is just who I followed at the time and thought who was nice. Some Eddie George. This is before Kobe. Eddie George. I remember when the debate was the keep Eddie George or Kobe. And I think they ended up trading Eddie George to Charlotte at the time, I believe. Hakeem the Dream. If y'all don't remember him, man. One of the most dominant centers of all time. Like, this dude had a hook shot. He'll block you. He even had little handles, man. And before Hakeem, I think it was just Akeem Olajuwon. He switched it up sometime. I don't know if I have any. Yeah, see, Akeem, when he first came in the league, Akeem, and then he added that H later on. More Akeem. What was that down here? Oh, we got a couple Glenn Rice and a Kevin Willis. Some Charles Barkley. Now commentating on TNT. You just see the cool cards in the 90s, man. These inserts, how cool they were. Like the superstar right there, that Fleer. That's dope to me. That could be a dope insert nowadays. So simple and clean. Some more Barkless. When he was with the Sixers. Before he went off, got traded to the Suns and took them to a finals, but lost. Got a David Robinson. I believe this is rookie card, and look how damaged it was as a kid. Like, I still have it protected, but well, I'll always keep it. Oh, that's not even the David Robinson. All right, here we are, the David Robinson page. So we got, I think that's right there. I like that card. This is a thick card right here, the Hardwood Leaders. I remember that. This is Chrome. This is the base of it, of the two same cards. That's why I have them separated. Some more David Robinsons. And so I hope this is coming through clear enough for y'all to see, and just, I know it's a weird camera angle. I want to get y'all to see. Leave it there long enough for you guys to be able to see some cool stuff. Yeah, this is what I collected as a kid, man. I put it all together. Like I said, I got so many of those boxes. I would actually go through them, like just spend nights, just organize, even counting. It's funny, on some of the boxes you can see, I even have a freaking number, count how many cards are in each box. That John Stockton is cool. I remember my dad, one of the actual boxes he bought me was this Top Standing Club, and I believe that was the, I guess you want to say the box insert, or like the most rare card out of that box. Didn't get much boxes. Got a lot of packs. I don't remember honestly too many boxes off the top of my head. I remember that was one. Stockton, great point guard as well. Him and Malone, Hornacek, Byron Russell, the great Utah teams in the 90s. Damon Stoudemire, great little player. I think Mighty Mouse was his nickname, I believe. Great player as well. Got some Stephon Marbury's. If y'all want to go get you some Marbury shoes, $20. That's what he started. I think he's still in China now. I'm not sure if he's still in China, but he was there for a while. Ray Allen with the Bucks before he eventually got traded to the Sonics. And I know that's his rookie card right there, SP. I remember what that was, Upper Deck SP. But yeah, got some Patrick Ewings. New York way before he joined the Sonics at the end of his career. These cards are cool to me too. I don't think they're worth much, but you know, even at the time. But that NBA on NBC, that always remind me, you know, like the Skybox edition, like just watching NBA on NBC Saturday mornings, just the theme song and all that. And if your team was playing, it was like that was like the big deal, you know, it'd be on NBC on Saturdays. So I always thought those cards always been cool to me, nostalgic. Jason Kidd. Some compare Lonzo Ball to him. I don't know if it's because they both light-skinned or what, but he was a great point guard too. You know, had his times in Dallas and Brooklyn or New Jersey. The Nets. I think he took the Nets to a finals. Some Clyde the Glide Drexler. Forgotten player, man. Such a great player himself. Especially Portland. Reggie. The best three-point shooter before Steph came along, I'd say. Either him, Reggie Miller, Steph, and Ray Allen, top three-point shooters all time. I think I'd have to say that, top three of all time. Dennis Rodman, the Worm. I guess I don't have much of him, but some of his cards. Spurs, Detroit, and then Bulls, of course. Those 90s Bulls. Some Alonzos. You know, he had that a bad liver or something, or kidneys, where he had to take a couple years off the NBA and then came back with Miami. But he was a great center at the time. Then Glenn Robinson. I forgot his name, the dog or something, the Junkyard Dog, something like that. This is a cool card. I always liked him. A Slamming Universe insert. He was great with the Bucks. Some more Glenn's. Nick Van Exel, Nick Quick. I always liked him. Always wanted the Sonics to get Nick Van Exel. We never did it with the Lakers. He was some other teams. I don't remember. I think he was with Denver for a while as well. Keith Van Horn. Kerry Kittle. So some New Jersey Nets cards at the times. Keith Van Horn. He was a good player. He had a few, like, he started off well. Then I think he tailed off at some point, Keith Van Horn. Some Magic Johnsons. So, you know, when I started collecting and watching basketball, he was you know, I think 93, 94 when he was out, 95. He came back for a year or two. But I think by 96, 97, he was out the league. Something like that. You know, when he had to deal with what he had to deal with. Rasheed Wallace. That's all with the Bullets. And then with Portland. So nothing when he was with Detroit. That was after I done stopped collecting. Some Tim Hardaway's. Killer crossover. That's where I all started, those killer crossovers. Tim Hardaway. Juwan Howard. Latrell Sprewell in the back. Choking out his coach. Some cool Latrells, though. These are some cool cards. So if you guys don't really, like, if you never really looked at 90s inserts either, this is just a good look to see what we had. Like I said, there could have been much other cards. I mean, this is just what, I didn't do hobby shops much, maybe once in a while. But my dad would really take me, you know, it was just stores that carried cards. Cool, Dikembe Mutombo. Another one of those inserts. So I just got, you know, I don't know if there was all retail. I don't know if they had a big difference between retail and hobby at the time back then. Or if it was mostly the same. But that's a cool Grandmama Larry Johnson, Nuts and Bolts. That's a cool looking insert. I wish that was a real signature. Maybe, I never checked. Might have to check after. All right. Mitch Richmond, he was a great scorer and shooter as well. I mean, he's one of those guys with never superstar status, I'd say, but was like on the verge. Like, that dude could score. Mitch Richmond. He could take over a game. I mean, look, he was on the Dream Team, so. Then Isaiah Ryder, great dunker at the time. I think he beat Sean Kemp in the dunk contest in Minnesota, if I remember correctly. Might not have been Minnesota, but I remember he beat Sean Kemp. Who was that? Joe Smith. I think he's just #1 overall pick, but never amounted to like greatness. And then we're just getting into like some of the lesser known, still great players, but just lesser known. Michael Finley, some cool Michael Finleys, cool Tim Duncan. I don't know if that's his rookie card or not. It might be. Allen Iverson, Sharif Abdul-Rahim, Tim Thomas. So these are maybe like Antoine Walker, all-stars, but, you know, never quite made, you know, greatness, or just players that had a year or two. Just some like Jermaine O'Neal, Tracy McGrady, Bryant Reeves. I mean, Bryant Reeves was great at one time, maybe a season or two. Kevin Johnson, great player his time. Underrated. And then Larry Bird. Don't have much of him, just a couple cards. Isaiah Thomas, Glenn Rice, LaFonso Ellis. That's a cool insert. Always like that one. What was that, Brandon Knight or Brevin Knight? I think that's Brandon Knight. Let's see. I don't remember. Cleveland. I think it's Brandon Knight. Let's see. Oh, way up. Terrell Brandon. So I had Brandon right, just wrong name. All right, Terrell Brandon. He had a couple years. And the Bobby Hurley Gold. Corey Blunt. And, you know, I didn't know at the time what was great. Didn't have so much access to Beckett's and stuff. Just went off of what I seen and who was good in NBA at the time. Brent Burry, Harold Mine. This is a cool card, one of my favorites. I actually had it in a top loader at some point. I don't remember why I took it out, but it's Harold Miner here. I'm gonna have to turn back over. And then Steve Smith here. Actually, you know, I might keep this out and put it in the top loader. I mean, it's so damaged. Look at it. Being in these sleeves for a year. I mean, since the 90s. This is the same thing I've had since the 90s. Like, these cards have not moved. Well, that's a cool looking card there. I mean, look how cool these were in the 90s. Thunder and Lightning. That is a cool card. So yeah, guys, that's basketball. Whoops. What I collected. Like I said, there's a little preview baseball and football. I didn't do too much football and baseball as a kid, which is weird. You know, I did mostly basketball. Football was hard to find from what I remember. But yeah, so we'll get into that maybe next video or two. And, you know, I should show you guys that. But just want to show you this, what, you know, got me into collecting. Just show you what I had as a child, what I enjoyed. You know, and the differences between now and then. Like, you see, unless I don't know, but I don't remember getting any mem cards or auto cards. I think I got out right before that. Or I just didn't have the money to afford those packs. So yeah, there you guys have it. I just thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.